Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'll give you my top 10 best horror movies of 1984. It's a good year for horror movies, but I feel the quality from the top 3 or 4 of my picks really drops off to the rest of my picks, more so than any other top 10 for the 80s. But still a good year. And one notable I'm keeping off is The Terminator. Although I feel it kind of plays more like a horror movie, I just feel like there's too much guns and shootouts for it to be a straight up horror film. Maybe if he was running around with a knife, it'd be one of the greatest slasher movies of all time, but it's not that. So sit back, relax, and let the show begin. Number 10 is The Initiation. This one probably wouldn't make my list in any other year of the 80s, but in 84 there's so many terrible horror movies that this one actually stands out. But that's not saying much. It's about a girl who's plagued by nightmares. She witnesses her mother cheating and her father burnt alive. And later on, for her initiation, she has to break into her stepfather's shopping mall, along with 3 other pledges, and prank the security guard. The story is weak, the twist at the end is average, but I do like the mall setting after hours. It's not great, but it's worth at least one watch. Number 9 is The Prey. This is a very low-budget movie that was originally filmed in 1980, and only released in late 83 and to a wider audience in 84. And there's also a 97-minute cut version, but I've only seen the 79 to 80-minute version. Despite the low budget, it's got a decent quality to the picture. 6 people go camping and start to get picked off one by one in common slasher style. The killer is played by Carol Struker, who's played in many movies including Addams Family and Dr. Sleep. It's not great, but everyone should see it at least once. Number 8 is Children of the Corn. This movie doesn't hold up as good as it used to, but when I was a kid, this movie scared the crap out of me. The scene near the beginning where they hit the kid with their car after he's been sliced up was so terrifying to me. I used to love this movie, but now the child actors annoy me quite a bit. And as a man nowadays, I would smack all these nutcase kids right up. At least Linda Hamilton is in it, and the overall atmosphere is awesome. I love the dead town setting. It's a decent little 80s horror movie. Number 7 is Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is a decent slasher film, and it's way better than Don't Open Till Christmas. It received tons of controversy when it released and was pulled from theaters quickly, but not before earning about 3 times its money and created a cult following. I enjoy Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I own Scream Factory's release of 1 and 2. And I always tell everyone, you might as well just watch part 2 and skip the first one, because it's a better movie and you have tons of flashback sequences from the first film. But still, the first one is a minor classic. Number 6 is Chud, which stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. This is such a strange movie, but I enjoy it. It's got a great cast. John Hurt and Daniel Stern from Home Alone are in it. You also got John Goodman, so at least you have a fun cast in it. I love the scummy New York setting. In this movie, the homeless that live deep underground have mutated from all the toxic waste. They start to feed on the other homeless, but they're nearing the surface, and the city folk are next. It's got some cheesy effects, but still a fun one to revisit from time to time. Number 5 is Terror in the Aisles. This isn't a horror movie, but it's a documentary. But it had a theatrical release and made $10 million back in 84. It has a bunch of scenes from all the best horror movies up to that point. It's also narrated by Donald Pleasance, who needs no introduction, and by Nancy Allen from Carrie, RoboCop, and Dressed to Kill. They're fun in it. They sit in the theater, interacting with an audience of actors, discussing the greatest horror scenes in movie history up to that point. And it's on YouTube. It's just so much fun. Check it out if you haven't seen this documentary. Number 4 is Gremlins. It's one of those movies that your parents would let you watch when you were young because they thought it was more of a comedy, and they thought Gizmo was so cute. But this was a horror movie in my eyes, disguised as a kid's movie. And yes, it has some comical scenes, but there's some genuinely good scares and suspense. Excellent atmosphere, and the Gremlins design is top-notch. I'm sure everyone has seen this. I still watch this one every Christmas. Love it. Number 3 is Razorback. This is the ultimate creature feature hidden gem. It's so good. The nightmarish atmosphere is fantastic. The music score is so well done. It's about a killer gigantic boar who kills everything in its sight. I can't say enough great things about this movie. I really love it, and you must see it if you haven't seen it. Number 2 is Friday the 13th, Part 4, The Final Chapter. This is my favorite Jason film. It's so good. Everything works perfectly. The setting, the atmosphere, and the cast are all top-notch. And the makeup effects are excellent. My favorite kill is when Crispin Glover gets the cleaver to the face. Ted, the corkscrew! Jason is so scary, and this is the last film you would see him run. I'm sure everyone has seen this by now, but it's still a classic. Number 1 is Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street. What a fantastic film. It's so original and frightening. Robert Englund as Freddy is just too perfect. This is one of the best horror movies ever made. The dreamlike quality with the girls skipping and singing 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. It's just so creepy. It's got a great young cast, including Johnny Depp in his first movie. What can I say that hasn't already been said about this film? It's a film that you're proud to recommend to friends. If you come across someone who hasn't seen it yet, you just blurt out, "What? Bro, you gotta see it." It really is excellent and inventive. Anyway, so that's the list, guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.
Hey, Ted, where the hell's corkscrew?
The Daigler.